Hello, it's Lesley Fightmaster, and welcome to day 63. So, the end of week 9, we're going to do just a little bit of movement, followed by a guided meditation. I've gotten a lot of feedback that people like the guided meditations, so we'll add another one. Let's bring our hands together, take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. And then onto your back, just draw your knees into your chest, Apanasana. And then hold on one hand to one shin and one hand to the other and just make some circles, taking the legs away from each other and then together and draw them in towards your chest. So this is a way to just kind of loosen up the hips and then go the opposite direction. And then extend your legs up toward the ceiling and just hold on anywhere along the legs to stretch out your hamstrings a little bit. And just a couple of breaths here. And then we'll take the soles of the feet together, the knees apart, so Baddha Konasana, but still on your back. So you're bringing your knees in a little toward your chest, or your thighs in toward your chest, but then moving the legs away from each other. And again, inner thighs, outer hips are getting a little stretch. Right knee in, extend the left leg out, and then twist. And take your right knee over to the left side, turn and look over the right shoulder. So we're just getting the hips a little bit open, the spine, a little movement there so that we can sit or lay down for the meditation. And then switch, left knee in, exhale, take it off to the right, look over the left shoulder. So originally our asana practice was created by the yogis years and years and years and years ago as a way to prepare them to sit and meditate longer. That's what the whole practice was for. Roll off to your right side and make your way up to seated. And then inhale, bring your chest forward, lift your chin, arching your back, and exhale, round your back. So it's like a cat-cow, but we're sitting. So inhale, bring the chest forward, lift your chin, exhale, round your back, chin toward chest, pull the belly and ribs in. And again, inhale, widen the collarbones, lift the chest, exhale, rounding the back. Inhale, bring the chest forward, shoulder blades toward the waist. Exhale, rounding your back. Drop your chin down. And then inhale again, lifting heart forward and up. Exhale, rounding the back. And come to neutral, switch legs, and then start to make some circles. So you're just going to take your torso to the right, bring it forward, swing it to the left, around the back as you come through the back. Just a couple of circles here. Again, just loosening up the body a little bit so that we can sit and meditate if we want to sit. And then switching directions. And then you don't have to sit and meditate. You can always lie back if you want to do that instead, if that's more comfortable. So when we are meditating, we don't have to want to think about the body. So recross. And then come forward and make your way into downward facing dog. And then take your legs as wide as your mat and stretch your chest back toward your thighs. So usually we keep the ribs in and we keep the belly in. We can still keep the belly lifted a little bit, but we're going to stretch back as much as we're comfortable doing. So we get into the shoulders a little bit and really stretch out the spine. So as I was saying a moment ago, you don't want to have to think about your body when you're sitting. Like if you're uncomfortable, that is going to be distracting. So if you stretch out a little bit, that helps. Maybe sitting isn't the best for you. Maybe lying down is better. So do what's best for you. Looking forward. Step your feet hips width, come to plank and lower to the belly. Inhale, little cobra, peel the chest up. Reach through the toes. You can do a high cobra if that feels good for you. Roll the shoulder heads back and then exhale to the knees. And just shift your hips off to the right and cross your shins. Sitting up nice and tall, you can also sit on a little block or a bigger block, or fold up a blanket and sit on the edge, and that will lengthen your spine. And for many, it will feel a lot better. Or you can lie down and get comfortable there. So I'm going to sit. I like to sit, but I didn't always like to sit. So sitting up as tall as you can, just take a few moments. Your palms facing up with the hands on the knees. And your nice, comfortable position for meditation. Coming into a steady breath. Continuing your steady breathing. When your mind wanders, just take your attention back to your breath. This is a guided meditation in the forest. You're walking along a path deep in the forest. All around you there are tall trees, pine, fir, redwood, oak. Try to see them. The rushing sound of the wind blowing through the treetops is so soothing, allowing you to let go. You can smell the rich dampness of the forest floor, the smell of earth and new seedlings and rotting leaves. And now you look up through the treetops until you can see a light blue sky. You notice how high the sun is in the sky. As the sun enters the canopy of treetops, it breaks into rays, which waft their way down through the trees to the forest floor. You're watching the intricate patterns of light and shadow created as the light filters down through the trees. The forest feels like a great cathedral, filling you with a sense of peace and reverence for all living things. Off in the distance, you can hear the sound of rushing water echoing through the forest. It gets louder as you approach. Before long, you are at the edge of a mountain stream. You're looking at the stream and noticing how clear and sparkling the water is. Now imagine sitting down and making yourself very, very comfortable. You might sit down on a flat rock up against a tree, or you might even decide to lie down on a grassy slope. You can see the mountain stream creating rapids as it moves, rushing around a variety of large and small rocks. And these rocks are many shades of brown, gray, and white, and some are covered with moss. You can see the sparkling water rushing, and it's rushing over some of the rocks, and it's rushing around others, making whirlpools and little eddies. And the rushing sound of the water is so peaceful that you can just let yourself drift, relaxing more and more. And you take in a deep breath of fresh air and breathe it out, finding the subtle smells of the forest very refreshing. As you let yourself sink into the soft bed of grass or the dead leaves or fragrant pine needles beneath you. Now you can let go of any strains or any concerns, allowing the sights, the sounds, and the smells of this beautiful wooded area to fill you with a deep sense of peace and relaxation as you continue to breathe and relax. We'll now bring your attention back to your breath and start to take a couple longer rounds, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And you're welcome to open the eyes softly, or if you'd like to keep your eyes closed a little bit longer, you're welcome to do that as well. If you're lying down, make your way back up to seated. And bring the hands together in front of your heart. Hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to our heart to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to our mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications. I honor each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you enjoyed our practice today, please push the like button and share and tell your friends and subscribe. If you can afford a donation of any amount, there is a link below, and this just helps us to continue our mission of bringing yoga to as many people as we possibly can reach. And if that isn't something you can do, you can go to fightmasteryoga.com. There's an Amazon link on the homepage. If you order through Amazon and doing it through that link, that will help to support us, and it doesn't cost you anything else. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye.